Garmin's 2025 watches, smart, stylish, and feature-packed watches that do everything except make your morning coffee. Hard to believe these used to just tell time, right? Well, Garmin changed that. Let's dive into the top 5 Garmin watches in 2025. Garmin Forerunner 55. If you're starting your running journey but don't want to break the bank buying a smartwatch, the Garmin Forerunner 55 is a solid bet. Design-wise, it keeps things simple. And even though the 1-inch screen isn't flashy, it's super clear, even on the sunniest days. Sure, it doesn't let you pay for groceries or blast your playlist. But for a running watch, it does the job. The battery life is where it shines. 2 weeks in smartwatch mode and 20 hours in GPS mode. That's perfect for a weekend marathon or a week of forgetting to charge it. Training-wise, it has Pace Pro to guide your speed and cadence, and Garmin Coach for free training plans if you decide to go pro. The Forerunner 55 is like that reliable friend who always shows up on time. Nothing too flashy, but exactly what you need. If the 55 is all about getting you started, the Forerunner 165 is where things get interesting. Let's upgrade to an AMOLED display with some extra features. Garmin Forerunner 165. The Forerunner 165 is like a starter pack for runners who want a taste of that fancy AMOLED life without the fancy price tag. It's got a bright, colorful touchscreen that you can see in sunlight, because squinting at your watch while jogging isn't a good look. It's light, comfy, and has the classic 5-button setup, so you're not stuck trying to swipe around with sweaty fingers. The battery life is solid, 11 days in smartwatch mode, or 19 hours with GPS. So, unless you're planning a 2-week ultramarathon, you're covered. But it's not just about the basics. It tracks your sleep, stress, and even sends out an alert if you take a tumble on the trail, because nothing says adventure like a watch that calls for backup when you eat dirt. It's not overloaded with features like the pricier models, but that's the point. The Forerunner 165 gives you all the essentials without overcomplicating things. Whether you're clocking your first 5 kilometers or going for a weekend hike, this thing has your back. Garmin Enduro 3. Ever thought about a watch that can keep up with you longer than your phone's battery? That's where the Enduro 3 steps in. This thing is like the Energizer Bunny of adventure watches. It just keeps going. Garmin took everything great about the Fenix series, trimmed off some fancy stuff like the mic and speaker, and focused on what matters for adventurers: insane battery life, durability, and rock-solid tracking. This watch looks rugged with a lightweight, comfy nylon strap and a titanium bezel that can take a beating. And speaking of batteries, they are practically immortal. 90 days in watch mode with solar charging. Even with GPS on, you're looking at up to 90 hours of tracking. That's more than enough for a weekend hike, or getting lost in the woods and finding yourself. But it's not all about battery life. This thing is packed with fitness features: heart rate tracking, VO2 estimates, training analysis. Basically, it's your fitness coach on your wrist. Now, if the Enduro 3 is your ultramarathon buddy, our next pick is the coach that keeps you sharp. Packed with pro-level training tools, it's time for the Forerunner 965. Garmin Forerunner 965. Now, let's talk about the next watch, the Forerunner 965. The Forerunner 965 is packed with all the high-tech training features of the 955, but cranks things up a notch with a stunning AMOLED touchscreen that's so bright, you could probably use it to signal rescue helicopters. This thing's got multi-band GPS, which means it can track you even if you're running through a dense forest, a concrete jungle, or trying to escape from your responsibilities. And it sticks to the classic 5-button design, so even with sweaty fingers or gloves, you're still in control. And battery life is amazing. 23 days in smartwatch mode, 31 hours of GPS without music. And even if you're the type who needs a soundtrack to outrun your problems, you still get 8.5 hours of GPS with music. It also tracks your chronic load, basically acting like a tiny coach that knows when you're overtraining, undertraining, or getting it right. For serious runners who want more than just a flashy watch, The Forerunner 965 is tough to beat. And finally, for those who want the perfect balance of premium features without going overboard, say hello to the Forerunner 265. Garmin Forerunner 265. Looking for a running watch that's smarter than your average smartwatch, but won't empty your wallet? That's where the Forerunner 265 steps in. It's a perfect balance between serious running tech and everyday wear, with a bright AMOLED touchscreen that practically screams your stats at you, even in direct sunlight. This watch comes in two sizes, one for regular wrists and one for those who prefer a lighter fit. But the real magic is how it keeps battery life strong despite that stunning display. The 265S and 265 can be used for 15 days in smartwatch mode, while the 265 can be used for 13 days, so you won't have to hunt for your charger every few days. And the features are top-notch. The training readiness score tells you if you're ready for a tough workout or if you should take a break. It's got the Elevate V4 sensor for heart rate, blood oxygen, and even a morning report to give you a quick summary of your sleep, training, and the weather. Well, folks, it's time to wrap this up. Need something affordable, packed with smart training tools? Forerunner 55. Want a beginner-friendly, lightweight runner with a bright AMOLED screen? Forerunner 165. Need epic battery life and adventure-ready durability? Enduro 3. Want a serious trainer with a stunning AMOLED display? Forerunner 965. Craving a colorful mid-range powerhouse that feels like a smartwatch? Forerunner 265. If this video helped, don't forget to like, hit that subscribe button for more similar videos, and check the links in the description for the best deals right now. Also, check out our latest video on the top 5 MP3 players in 2025. It starts with a nostalgic throwback. Let's see if you remember loading up your favorite tracks on those old school devices. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the one.